Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast with Ralph. Today, we're diving into 30 idioms you absolutely need to know. These idioms are super useful for daily conversations, movies, TV shows, and even exams. I'm going to explain each idiom, give you a clear example, and a sentence you can use for shadowing practice. That means repeating it out loud to really make it stick in your memory. So grab a notebook, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's get started. Let's start with a classic one. Imagine you're at a party and you want everyone to feel comfortable. The idiom here is break the ice. Break the ice. It means to start a conversation in a friendly way. For example, you could say, I told a joke to break the ice at the party. For shadowing, repeat after me. I told a joke to break the ice at the party. Excellent. Pretty simple, right? And it's a great way to start social conversations. Now, speaking of easy things, we have an idiom that describes something very simple. A piece of cake. A piece of cake. You can say, this exam was a piece of cake. Now repeat after me. This exam was a piece of cake. So, next time something is really easy, just remember this idiom. After a long day, we all feel tired and just want to sleep. That's where hit the sack comes in. It means to go to bed. For example, I'm really tired, so I'm going to hit the sack. Now repeat after me. I'm really tired, so I'm going to hit the sack. Excellent. Very good. You did it great. Sometimes we accidentally reveal secrets. When that happens, we use the idiom, let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. For example, she let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. Now repeat after me. She let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. Very good. Very good. Be careful with this one. It's a fun way to talk about secrets. Now, what if you're feeling a little sick? You can say you're under the weather. Under the weather. For example, I was under the weather yesterday, so I stayed home. Now, it's your turn. Repeat after me. I was under the weather yesterday, so I stayed home. Sometimes people try to save time and money, but not always wisely. That's when we use cut corners. Cut corners. It means doing something cheaply or quickly, usually ignoring quality. For example, don't cut corners on this project. Quality matters. Now, you repeat after me. Don't cut corners on this project. Quality matters. All right, great. Ever had trouble deciding? Maybe you're sitting on the fence. Sitting on the fence. That's the idiom for avoiding decision. For example, he always sits on the fence when asked to choose. Now repeat after me. He always sits on the fence when asked to choose. All right, very good. When someone really explains the problem perfectly, we say they hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. For example, You hit the nail on the head with your analysis. You hit the nail on the head with your analysis. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. You hit the nail on the head with your analysis. Very good. Sometimes people blame the wrong person. We say they are barking up the wrong tree. Barking up the wrong tree. For example, if you think I did it, you're barking up the wrong tree. If you think I did it, you're barking up the wrong tree. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. If you think I did it, you're barking up the wrong tree. And, of course, we often take on more than we can handle. That's biting off more than you can chew. Biting off more than you can chew. For example, he bit off more than he could chew with this project. He bit off more than he could chew with this project. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. He bit off more than he could chew with this project. All right, very good. You know, guys, sometimes the decision is in someone else's hands. Then we say the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. For example, I've done my part. Now the ball is in your court. So you understand the meaning of this phrase, this idiom, right? Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. I've done my part. Now the ball is in your court. Very good. Before a performance, we wish someone luck by saying break a leg. Break a leg. For example, break a leg in your performance tonight. Break a leg in your performance tonight. Now, you repeat after me. Break a leg in your performance tonight. Very good. And when it's time to stop working, we use call it a day. Call it a day. For example, let's call it a day and continue tomorrow. All right, now you repeat after me. Let's call it a day and continue tomorrow. Very good. You're doing great. You know, sometimes we survive by a very small margin, right? That's by the skin of your teeth. By the skin of your teeth. For example, I passed the exam by the skin of my teeth. I passed the exam by the skin of my teeth. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. I passed the exam by the skin of my teeth. All right, very good. Sometimes you see that you use expensive a lot and some things cost way too much. That's why we say costs an arm and a leg. Costs an arm and a leg. For example, that car costs an arm and a leg. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. That car costs an arm and a leg. All right, very good. And now let's turn to our next idiom. Sometimes bad things turn out good. Bad things turn out good. That's a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. For example, losing that job was a blessing in disguise. Now you repeat after me. Losing that job was a blessing in disguise. All right, good. And when you achieve two things at once, so you achieve two things at once, we say kill two birds with one stone. To kill two birds with one stone. For example, by going to the gym, I killed two birds with one stone. Exercise and meet friends. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. By going to the gym, I killed two birds with one stone. Good. Our next idiom is about working late. And when we work late and we stay up late, we burn the midnight oil. Burn the midnight oil. For example, she burned the midnight oil to finish her project. Now, you repeat after me. She burned the midnight oil to finish her project. Very good. Now, let's talk about risky situations. Sometimes we are in let's say, in risky situations. In these situations, we say on thin ice. On thin ice. For example, you're on thin ice if you keep skipping classes. It means you're in risky situation. Now, repeat after me. You're on thin ice if you keep skipping classes. All right. And when you're in trouble, you can use another idiom. So, on thin ice means to be in a risky situation. But if you're in trouble, you can say in hot water. In hot water. For example, he is in hot water for being late. It means he's in trouble. Now let's repeat after me. He's in hot water for being late. All right, good. And now let's imagine you joke with friends. Can you think of an idiom that you can use in this situation to joke with friends? There is an idiom that people mostly use when they want to talk about joking with friends. And that idiom is pull someone's leg. To pull someone's leg. For example, don't worry, I'm just pulling your leg. Now, you repeat after me. Don't worry, I'm just pulling your leg. Very good. Now, there are times when your plans are uncertain. You are not certain of your plans. Then in this case, when you want to talk about your plans that are uncertain, you can say they're up in the air. Up in the air. For example, our travel plans are still up in the air. Our travel plans are still up in the air. Now let's repeat after me. Our travel plans are still up in the air. Now, there is an idiom that I myself use a lot in my daily conversations. And definitely people use it a lot. Get off the hook. To get off the hook. It means to free from trouble. To free from trouble. For example, he got off the hook because no one saw him. He got off the hook because no one saw him. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. He got off the hook because no one saw him. All right, very good. Now, when people make things worse, they add fuel to the fire. Fuel to the fire. So adding fuel to the fire means making things worse. For example, his comment added fuel to the fire. His comment added fuel to the fire. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. His comment added fuel to the fire. Very good. Now, there's an idiom that I hear native speakers use a lot, and that's sometimes the last small problem. And this idiom is the last straw. The last straw. For example, losing my wallet was the last straw. It means it was the last small problem. Now you repeat after me. Losing my wallet was the last straw. Great. Now, there are times when things can't be changed. So you definitely cannot change things. So in this case, we might say, don't cry over spilled milk. Don't cry over spilled milk. For example, don't cry over spilled milk. Just fix it. Great. Now you repeat after me. Don't cry over spilled milk. Just fix it. Very good. There's also another very useful and widely used idiom in English. And we use this idiom when something difficult must be accepted. And this idiom is to bite the bullet. To bite the bullet. So when you use this idiom, you're in a very difficult situation, and you must accept that situation. For example, I had to bite the bullet and start my presentation. Now you repeat after me. I had to bite the bullet and start my presentation. Very good. When things get out of control, we say they get out of hand. Get out of hand. For example, the party got out of hand last night. It means it got out of control. Now you repeat after me. The party got out of hand last night. All right, great. You're doing it great. Now let's talk about studying hard. Studying hard. So when you study hard, you hit the books. You hit the books. For example, I need to hit the books before the exam. It means I need to study hard before the exam. Now, can you repeat it after me? I need to hit the books before the exam. Very good. And finally, our last idiom is when you face the consequences of something. The idiom we use in this situation is to face the music. To face the music. For example, he had to face the music for breaking the rules. It means he had to face the consequences of his action. Now you repeat after me. He had to face the music for breaking the rules. Great. And that's it. There were 30 idioms you should definitely know. Remember to practice shadowing with the sentences I gave you and try using these idioms in your conversations, movies, or even social media posts. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss any episodes of English Podcast with Ralph. And which idiom was your favorite? Comment below and share your own examples. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.